Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And this is Jay, and this is some urgent news that I've been waiting to drop for just y'all. And of course, we have now covered like all the thresholds. We've had Terrormaton, we've had DokiDoki, and we've also had Aurora. And in this video, we are going to be covering, let me grab this. We're going to be covering what is necessary and what is important when it comes down to grabbing what you need and what's important to farm. I feel like these topics are covered within other content creators' videos, but I also feel like this needs to be covered again, just for those who haven't caught it and for those who are just kind of new to the game and haven't made it to those other content creators. And we're going to just go ahead and get kicked off. There will be timestamps for each different threshold because each one offers different things. And also, I won't be explaining the mechanics when it comes down to who to fight and what to do. It's all there. I've covered them in each individual video and whatnot. But for this video, we will be just covering what to do, what to grind, and what does it have to offer to you as far as excelling your account to get to where you need to be. So we're going to go ahead and get a kickoff and start with Terrormaton. Terrormaton is our entry level one. It's very important that, I mean, you'll see this at the beginning of the game. You end up fighting this quite early as part of the tutorial. And what's pretty important in this gives you the base of the game as far as your DPSs will be using Onslaught, and your support healer, which is Dorothy at the time, will be giving you'll be using Wellspring on her to boost her HP up and stuff like that. And then, as you can tell, for those that are new, we do have the matrix lines where you have like 2, and of course when you get further in here you'll have 3, and so far and so forth. You'll have all that. And what's pretty important is to make sure you have the right setup to be able to go in these fights, and to make sure that you're going for what you need to go for. Like here, you want to make sure, and like I have to express this to the furthest and to the fullest. When you're grinding these thresholds, make sure that you understand that you have to grind it completely and get everything that gets you to the next part. If you're having a problem with, let's say you made it a hard one, right? You're stuck at hard one, but you've had blue pieces. You need to farm the hell out of normal 3. Get all those purple pieces and the unique pieces. Level them up, and then you can prepare to get epic pieces, and then you'll get outstanding pieces, which then you will go into mythic pieces. That is the stepping stone and the ladder to get to where you need to be. And I'm so sorry that like it's kind of tough to explain this to some people, because this is a game that is naturally progression with very hard content, and the PvE content is super killer, and you have this game forces you on the get good path, and you have it's a lot of things. It's more than just the gear too. You have to make sure that all your stuff is geared for speed. So it's just a plethora of different things. But to get back to it, in Terrormaton, you want to be able to secure everything, and then of course further you get into it, this is like your beginner for any of your DPSs, any of your supports that are based on HP, and your healers that use anything to have to do with healing effects and stuff. It's very crucial that you start with this, mainly because at the beginning you're given Leanne. If you didn't pull anybody else that is like crazy OP, you have to go get some onslaught gear. It's like it's the way to go. And then eventually, the further we get down here, you'll have your 3-line, then you'll have access to Kenai. Kenai is everything is geared towards like your main DPS gear, and you want to make sure that you tackle that as soon as you can, because your DPSs, I mean, they're the ones that make your moves. But this one is actually not one of them. It's like not the most important one. This is actually like, you kind of go for this one last, really, as far as like gear forming, as far as the later stages. The beginning stages, yes, you want to get this for all your DPSs and start climbing the ladder and getting there as far as being able to get your damage checks and finding out where you need to be. And then when it comes down to rolls, gear rolls, that'll be a whole nother video. But when it comes down to grabbing your gear, this is mainly your beginner stages of DPS life. That'll be here. And I really call this the DPS area of life here. Even when you get to Inferno, I mean, this is mainly for support, but I mean, you're here, you're getting this Fury Edge. This is all DPS stuff. You're just maximizing all the DPS gear out of Terrormaton, pretty much. And next, after that, we have, and I think this one is the most important one, that's DokiDoki. DokiDoki gives, hands down, the best gear that is long-term. You just can't beat it. I mean, everything here is meta. This is like meta stuff. Like, you can slap this on just about any character and make it work. And as much as you do need, I mean, your attacks, to your attack percentages, your crit damage, crit rate percentages, DokiDoki offers so much more. And we'll start from the top. Now you get your entry Swift Rush, which is super important. 35% speed increase is crazy when you rock the full 12-piece set. And of course, when you're building your defense characters, when you're first starting off, Unbreakable 45% for the full 12-piece set. It's very important to get those pieces. Very important to get them. And the same thing, same process. You gotta, whatever you stuck on, go to the one before. Go to the one you cleared before. Keep hammering it down. You'll get there. I promise you. We all face this in the community as far as progression. You have to work it. You got to work it, and you can't let it work you. Once you get to the further stages and we start to see Harvest, which is kind of like a sub DPS set. I say sub, but it's an AP set, and it is magnificent for a DPS. But you mainly have a lot of defense sets in here, and you also have your Time Weave, and of course, like I said earlier, Swift Rush. Time Weave is for your supports and helps you out on a whole new level. Time Weave also lets you increase that effect accuracy to make you be able to slap all those effects that you need to hit, as in your dots, your CCs. I mean, everything that you need to put down, any debuff that you need to inflict on the enemy. Time Weave will make that happen, and gives a chance to reduce the cooldown of all your skills by 1 turn. Nuts and crazy. You want to be able to get this as soon as possible, and of course, you want to get Swift Rush for all your supports and whoever you need to just be fast. Hell, you have a fast DPS that just come in, cycle out, and do what they need to do. And then, of course, in Inferno, we have Swift Raid. Swift Raid is crazy. This just adds a little bit more speed, and it adds the attack. It pretty much is like it's like a crazy dopamine here. You know, like Swift Raid is crazy. Pretty helpful for DPSs. And if you decide to go the route of like a whole different build, I've seen it on some lilies where they put a White Fang and have Swift Rush, Swift Raid. Nuts. Crazy. Little girl hits hard and moves fast. It's insane. If you get a chance, check that out. That is like crazy. I do plan on building that in the future, but got to get that White Fang shell to be able to get there. And that's pretty much it for DokiDoki. I mean, we do have the Evil Guard, where healing effect increase. This is kind of like in tandem with, I mean, and I like how they do it. You have your speed sets, but your speed sets also, like, especially when you come down with the shell matrix and you're trying to get all your matrices to line out, you do have to like form different ones to combine them up and get what you need, right? So, you know, this would go healing effect. You know, you got your wellspring and your cure that's on your Terrormaton. So you gotta come here for this and then probably go back over there for that. And also make sure you go get a shell that has the possibility of running all those together. It's, you know, it's a lot, but that's what you got to do for that. It's very important to get on top of that as soon as possible. And this one is the most important. So get it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You got to get into some DokiDoki as soon as possible because it gives you all the sets needed for your pretty much for your team, so like just that turn meter to just go at 100% on up, you know, and it makes it a lot better. And finally, Aurora. Aurora is a pain in the ass. Just not gonna lie to you. It is like by far really tough. I was having problems with it. If you go check out my previous video, it is the Aurora fight on Inferno. 100% form. It took a long time to get that build right, but it's possible. It is possible. You got to use, you need some help on that. I'm telling you. We'll go to the beginning and cover some of the gear that's in it. We have our Strive, which is a defense turn meter set where you can kind of group this up with your Swift Rush. And this, of course, this is included with the fact that you want to have a shell that supports both, where you get an attack and then boom, you move a little forward. It helps. It's beautiful. And then bulwark, it gives you that immunity at the beginning, which is awesome too. I consider this the off-brand area for like supports and stuff, and it has a lot of PvP sets in here. I mean that's what makes it like it makes it beautiful. Here you have a lot of PvP sets, and you have like, you know, bloodbath. Bloodbath makes it to where effect resistance going up, and then it makes it to where the excess damage is additionally reduced by 55% if you're taking something that exceeds 20% max HP as damage dealt to you. It is great, but this is the most important part of this. These are the finishing touches of your DPS sets right here, and that is momentum and fury. These sets here, gorgeous. I call this DPS part 2, but to get there you need to speed tune your team by going through DokiDoki. Aurora is a pain. I'm telling you, you will be so mad trying to play through Aurora. It'll make you angry. I promise you. I've sat here multiple times frustrated at myself that I gave my life away struggling through this. And of course I looked up guides, and the thing about looking up guides, y'all, is looking up a guide tells you who to use, tells you how to build it, but here's the part: you gotta have the stuff to build it, and if you don't, you gotta make do with what you got. So take your time and build through it. And Aurora also touches off by giving you a defense piece set, the Colossus Guard, and give you like the Smite, the Swift Smite, which gives you that speed and also effect accuracy. Is really good. I like this piece. Unfortunately, I have a crap ton of these and haven't been able to use it on anything. Mainly because by the time I get it in a shell, I've already got another shell tuned the way I needed to. And the sets that I'm using on it is I'm probably using 12 sets or 212 sets of gear. And between the bonuses, I can't really lose out on one because probably the speed piece is high, and I know it has 15% speed here, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't think I can afford to lose that piece, but that effect accuracy is there. I don't know. It's one of those situations. You got to make it do with what you can. But this is crazy. The Colossus Guard, any defense scaled damage dealer. I mean, like Rahu. We also have what is her name? Tsukiyomi. and also Holden. That goes. I feel like that goes on him. I mean, you don't have to build him just a crazy defense guy, but I mean, it's there, and you got to make it do what it do. That's really about it. Really, that's like all three of what you would do, or how you would, I guess, pursue each and every threshold for what you need. So to just go back and get like a little small recap, you want to be able to go to Terrormaton to go for your beginning stages of DPS checking. That's where you go. And after that, DokiDoki will be for your speed checking. You want to go there, get your speed checking, get those cooldowns reduced. You got to have that. That makes it to where the game moves a little quicker for you, and it moves better for you and more fluidly. Of course, you're getting all these pieces. Make sure you speed tune your team to what you need, and make sure you don't have people out of whack where you got your DPS attacking before your debuffers, and so far and so forth. And of course, you don't want your healer to be going first either. You kind of want your healer kind of be a little bit backtracking, unless your healer has another effect that puts out, some kind of crazy immunity or whatever that you have in front. It just all depends. And then of course, Aurora is your backdrop of getting your secondary stage of DPS gear, which would be your Momentum Fury. Is awesome to tackle that down as soon as you can. It's as soon as you can. Once you get your hands on the Fury gear, at least. Momentum's kind of iffy. Momentum is if you have your team speed tuned to where you're dropping your debuffs before your attacks are landed by your DPS. That's the only way your momentum is going to work and kick off and get the best that it can. And you get those pieces from DokiDoki to get your speed and get your effect accuracy up, as far as like getting it stacked up, because that's the only pieces that give you effect accuracy as a bonus, which will be from DokiDoki. So definitely, it's a lot to take in, I know, and it all takes time, and it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of different modules to get your hands on. You have to roll them and re-roll them, speed check them, other checks. There's a lot of other things that you want. And that all depends, and that you got to get the right substats and the right percentages of the substats you need to min-max the optimal damage or effectiveness that you can get from each one of your units. There's a lot of things that are involved in that, and sadly, this game is brutal when it comes down to that, mainly because of this resource right here. That money, super low. This is like nothing right here. I'm like broke right now, but outside of that, I mean, it's a grind. Hopefully we get another 2 times event coming up soon, probably in a few weeks. But until then, keep the grind going, y'all. It's amazing to keep playing this game. The game is good. The grind's really grindy, but the game is solid. The game is really good. Stack up on all your modules, go through them, check them out, see what you have, break them down if need be, recycle, and get that money up to where you can start investing in your gear and getting these bonuses. The bonuses matter, and match up all your bonuses and grind them all out completely. But I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is Jay, and this is, of course, another Ethereum restart video of just trying to help out the community and anybody that's a little bit behind, struggling, trying to understand which threshold that they would like to put their time in. So thank you so much, and y'all have a blessed one. And of course, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.